signal again, but he told him, I'm going to give you the signal, but you run what I told you to run. The Florida State corner bit. Jacquez Green went 80 yards. So you got to outsmart. If you think they're stealing your signals, figure out a way to get around it. It's called gamesmanship.
Yep.
It's not called stealing. It's not illegal. It's called gamesmanship. If you know they're doing it, figure out a way to get around it.
Hey, man, the 5 Ps, prior plan, prevent, poor performance. So you got to plan for it.
Be smarter than the people you are playing against.
All right. So
that's all you got to do. And they're Auburn, so you can easily be smarter than the people that you're playing against.
Leave Chuck School alone. All right, let's keep moving here. All right, you got a game at 12 o'clock. You got Michigan State ranked 11 against Eastern Michigan. Spartans lost to Oregon the week before, or they had a bye week, and then the week before that they lost to Oregon. And that was actually a competitive game until, well, Oregon just came back and took it off here.
Yeah.
But make your picks. Who you think? Do you think Michigan State go ahead and rebound? And what you got as far as picking?
Oh, they're playing Eastern Michigan. Florida beat Eastern Michigan 65-0. Michigan State better do the same.
So you predict a blowout?
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts, John? You think blowout?
It's going to be a statement game. By a statement game, I mean they just got beat on the road by a better team. They're coming to use this game to make a statement they can still play. I don't think it's going to be close. It's going to be one of those 56-0 at the half games.
All right.
Most of these games are going to be whoopings.
All right.
Like Wisconsin against Bowling Green. Whooping.
That's going to be a blowout, too?
Whooping.
John, do you consensus blowout?
I'm not going to talk about this game, dude. Really?
We don't talk about games. Ready? Georgia-Troy. Whooping. This next one you can talk about.
All right.
But it's still going to be, I predict it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Alabama versus Florida. Alabama is ranked number 3 in the nation, playing Florida in Tuscaloosa. Florida had a battle the week before against Kentucky.
Kentucky.
It
was a basketball game.
Yeah, it was a basketball. But, John, your thoughts with your
I'm going to preface this with, has Alabama played anybody yet?
Not. They played West Virginia the first game, and West Virginia gave them trouble.
Here's the thing. Yeah, you're playing in Tuscaloosa. That's always a tough place to play. Muschamp hasn't had much luck against Coach Saban lately. But Florida's starting to get a little battle-hardened after that Kentucky game. Now, while I don't think Florida's going to come out, I would not be surprised if this game ain't decided to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, me either.
I'm going with Bama, but I'm not. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be 35-24 style game.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Florida's defense suits better to play Alabama than they did Kentucky. Kentucky ran that spread the ball out style. Alabama run game. Then we try to beat you with some throws, but they basically go to the run game. Florida's strength is their defensive line and holding people in the run game. So they fit. The fits are better for Florida on the defensive side than they were for that Kentucky game. They were holding Kentucky in check. Kentucky just hit a few big plays. But the thing is, Kentucky's designed to hit those big plays because they were running that spread quick fire where Alabama runs more of the traditional offense. The key thing is Florida's offense running that spread out. Look, they're a harder fit for Alabama's style of defense because they run that traditional style of defense. West Virginia gave them fits. West Virginia runs that spread out style of football. So, I like John said, y'all know me, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than possible. If Florida wins, I will not be surprised, not at all. But I think it's going to be a lot closer with Alabama pulling it out. And y'all know that hurts me to say that, but I think we're almost there. But we're not there quite yet. This is that game that we'll be able to judge how good Florida really is.
Yeah. If
y'all want to play a drinking game with that game, take a shot for every time the announcers kiss Lane Kiffin's ass.
Yep.
Within about 6 minutes of the game, you will have to call an ambulance. I promise you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go with Alabama. I'm going to go with them by 13. It'll be close. And then I think they'll just take off in the middle of the third quarter. Florida's going to be a good test for Alabama as far as the defense side of the ball. Like Kevin said, the style fits them better. And so I'll be intrigued to see how our running game do against them as well. Because
Our running game is right on par with their running game.
Yeah.
We have three really good running backs. We just really don't play the third one.
Running backs and then one wide receiver.
And we got one receiver who catches everything.
So we'll see. We'll make it a test there, but it'll be. I done tweeted one of the Alabama fans that I follow on Twitter, and I said, "Hey, if y'all lose, I won't shut up."
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot closer than people. I just want to see us be competitive.
Yeah.
If we're competitive, it's a good judge on what we can do the rest of the year, and maybe contend for the East.
Yeah.
Because that's really where we need to look at is contending for the East side. If we lose this game, it really don't hurt us in that fashion. Then we just have to take our focus and put it on Georgia and South Carolina.
All right, you got number 6 Texas A&M versus SMU.
They're gonna beat the piss out of SMU.
Blowout. John, blowout.
Why are these teams week 4 of the season still scheduling tomato cans to play?
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Really?
I don't have a clue.
All right, I think we all come to consider that to be a blowout too.
Missouri, Indiana.
All right, BYU ranked 21 versus Virginia.
I think Virginia will beat BYU.
Virginia.
I think Virginia will beat BYU.
I agree with Kevin.
Virginia's a lot better than people think they are. A lot better.
Yeah, this will be a close game.
Yeah, I think Virginia will get them.
All right, 18 ranked Missouri.
Mizzou against Indiana, blowout.
So when's Matty Mott going to come into Heisman talk?
Whenever they play Alabama or Auburn and he plays well, that's when he'll get in.
He's probably I'm going to go ahead and say he's the best quarterback in the SEC right now.
He's playing very well. I agree.
Leads the nation with 78 points accounted for.
I agree.
That boy is playing.
He's the best quarterback in the SEC. Kenny Trill's a close second, but he is the best quarterback in the SEC right now.
Playing very well.
Forget Nick Campbell or whatever the dude from Auburn's name is. I'm blanking on it right now.
What the hell?
Matty Mock is the best
Campbell.
quarterback in the SEC.
Auburn, Nick Marshall.
Nick Marshall. Yeah, Nick Marshall.
Nick Marshall. Yeah, I was thinking Nick Campbell for some reason.
Campbell was their old quarterback.
Jason Campbell?
Yeah,
Jason Campbell. Yeah, Jason Campbell.
All right. We got LSU. They ranked 8th, and they're playing Mississippi. They're at Mississippi State.
No, they're playing at Louisiana.
Okay, yeah, they're playing.
ESPN does it backwards, dumbasses.
They're weird.
Yeah, switch it.
All right, so
Mississippi State's going to get the upset.
Me and John thinking similar.
Mississippi State is.
And LSU hasn't proved nothing to me so far.
They're going to come ready to play.
LSU squeezed it out. I think it'll be closer than what everybody thinks. So
Oklahoma at West Virginia.
Nice.
WVU, man, they're fighting. Oklahoma's just too strong.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Clear across the board.
Vanderbilt at South Carolina.
This will be a clean sweep.
Yeah, South Carolina will beat Vanderbilt. Eyeballs in. Vanderbilt had that good year last year to make everybody go, ooh, look, and then no.
How impressive was that win? Y'all want to recap last week against Georgia?
Oh, very, very, very. I called it.
Yeah, you did.
I told you.
Called it last week. Yeah.
I told you.
I
said the old ball coach would throw every single thing he got at Georgia just because he does not like Georgia.
Your thoughts on that, John? Their impressive victory last week against Georgia?
They didn't beat Georgia. They just ran out of time. There's some questionable calls in that game. I really still think Georgia was the better team. Todd Gurley needs to start getting a little more talk about the Heisman as well. Gurley single-handedly carried that team on his back.
Yep. And why?
He's a Gurley man.
And why on the last plays of the game you do not give that man the football is beyond me. He was averaging 6 yards a carry, and they only needed 5 yards for the touchdown. Just saying.
All right, next game is number 24 ranked Nebraska versus Miami.
Miami's got to go to Nebraska. Miami looks pretty now because their jerseys are kind of nice, but they're not very good.
Who you got, John?
You know, 20 years ago, this would have been like a primetime game.
Yep.
Right now, I really don't care. I think Nebraska takes it running.
Yep. It's on primetime today. What channel is it on? ESPN 2.
ESPN 2.
So it's not on primetime.
All
The primetime game.
Primetime
Florida
game.
State against Clemson.
Florida's number 1, of course. Florida State's number 1, and Clemson's ranked number 22. And, of course, this be a Jameis Winston-less team. And our new starting quarterback for this game is Sean McGuire. So,
Remember during our college football preview when I said Florida State would lose in the first few weeks of the season?
Here you go.
I meant that with or without Winston, they're going to lose to Clemson.
What's the score in your prediction? Close or?
It's going to be close. Florida State's defense will keep them in.
24-14.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I think Clemson gets the win. I think Clemson will eke it out at the end of the game. And I'm not just saying it just because Winston's not there or whatever. I just think it. Even if he was playing in this game, I would still kind of pick Clemson just because all the dumb shit they got surrounding them now. Even after the last game, Jimbo Fisher got irritated with Jameis Winston. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's a video where Jameis did something stupid. They were up 30-something to 7 or something like that. And Jameis did something stupid on the field and everything. And he told him to sit down. He told him sit on it, dude. He was like, and Winston was arguing with Jimbo. Jimbo was like, dude, sit on it. He was like, I don't want to hear it. Go sit on the bench.
Wow.
So there's some weird things going on in Florida State.
This will be a nail biter.
Clemson's got something to prove too after being embarrassed last year by Florida State.
Yeah, we'll find out how talented this team is on the offensive side of the ball without Winston.
Well, they still got their running game.
We'll see if he's a one-man show or not.
But they still got their running game.
Yeah, they're still running.
We'll see if he's like Peyton Manning was to the Colts.
Yeah, we'll see. This will be interesting here, but I got Clemson in a nail biter. Yeah, if they had Jameis Winston, I would pick Florida State, but yeah.
Jameis Winston just does a lot of stupid things on the football field. I watch him throw some passes and stuff, and you wonder why. If he's supposed to be this guy, you wonder why he throws them. But
he makes some clutch plays sometimes.
Well, at the end of the game, he always comes through. But
plays.
The thing is, they're so talented, he shouldn't have to make those clutch plays because they should be beating the tar out of people.
Yeah, true.
So his stupidity is what's leading to him having to do comebacks. So they ain't as good as last year to me. And this is where they lose number one. And I still think they lose again this season as well.
Yeah. All right, last game. You got number 2 Oregon at Washington State.
Oregon.
The interesting number here is that both Marcus Mariota and Connor Holiday has a football best 119 completions.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so this is probably staying up to be a shootout.
It's a flying balls everywhere. Oregon wins. Oregon wins with their big giant signs.
What do you say, John?
Whoever has the ball last.
This is a game where both teams have big giant signs calling in their football.
Yeah, so this would be a blowout here, pretty much. So we're looking at that. But all right, we're gonna transition over into the NFL, and then I'm gonna go ahead because we had a game on Thursday, Atlanta 56, Bay 14, and I'm gonna let John get on his soapbox, and we call this John Corner. So go ahead, John. Tell him what's on your mind.
All right, man. Week 3 of the NFL season, as we all know. The hardest beating in the NFL issue was not by Ray Rice in the elevator. It was by the Atlanta Falcons against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday night. I've heard a lot of flack. I've seen a lot of flack. I've sat through some misery these first few weeks being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. However, there's a hashtag on Twitter that has got my attention and pissed me off. There's a Fire Lovie Smith hashtag already started after 3 weeks of the NFL season. What? Ladies and gentlemen, Rome was not built in a day. I don't know where NFL fans, I'm not just talking about Buccaneers fans, have gotten so spoiled and short-sighted, they think that if a coach doesn't turn it around miraculously in the first few weeks of the season, he needs to be out there. Rome was not built in a day. Lovie Smith inherited a mess that Greg Schiano left in that debacle we jokingly called the 2013 NFL season. Let me give you a little insight to Buccaneers history, because most of these people bitching didn't become fans, so they changed their jerseys and started winning. 1996, Tony Dungy started in Tampa Bay as the head coach. First game on the job against Green Bay, they would beat 34-3 in a game in which Trent Dilfer threw 6 interceptions, and Green Bay scored 21 points in 51 seconds. They were also shut out by Detroit that year. They did not find the end zone with a touchdown until week 4 against the Denver Broncos. They did not win that year, their first game, until week 8 against the Minnesota Vikings. They started out 0-7. They finished that year 6-3, 6-10 on the year. And people want to say, "Oh no, that's not the same team." Ladies and gentlemen, that team had Hall of Fame defensive tackle Warren Sapp on it in his second year. It had Hall of Fame linebacker Derek Brooks on it his second year. It had soon-to-be Hall of Famer John Lynch on it in his